And once again, this is the BKBK podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Phillips, and I'm here with my fellow co-hosts, Brian Taylor, Captain Kyle McKenna, and Kerry, the Idris Man Taylor.
The Idris Man can.
The Idris Man. Check him out.
I don't have COVID. I don't have the COVID.
Mixes it with love and makes the world taste good.
So, guys, this is the show where sports and the culture collide and the New York Jets reign supreme.
That's right.
So, Kerry's reference to COVID, yes, the country is still social distancing as a result of the COVID-19 virus. Therefore, we as Team BKBK are doing the same. As a result of the social distancing, the 2020 NFL draft will be different as well. And you know what else will be different, guys?
What?
The respective war rooms.
That's right.
Okay, for each team. It's most probably going to look like this, what everyone is seeing here. You know, Basically, it's going to be like a virtual war room. So what you're seeing right now is what I call a separate yet together approach. We're separate because Kyle is 3,000 miles away in Seattle. Brian is in Westchester. Kerry's in Nassau County, Long Island. And I'm out here in Suffolk County, Long Island. Yet we are separate, yet still together. Okay? So we're together that we're going to conduct the most comprehensive and thorough mock draft ever. Yeah, I'm saying that confidently. So basically, this mock draft you're about to see is what the New York Jets should follow and use as a blueprint when approaching the draft. Now, for the sake of time, we'll not be making any trades in this mock draft. We will go in the order that the Jets already have designated. Also, we'll be using an online draft simulator to act as our guideline as to who is available when it's our turn to pick versus not. If you have ever wondered what a war room was like for a draft, check us out right about now. How about that?
That's right. That's right. Let's get it going.
Let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Let's make this happen. So, round one, okay? And as you can see, our screen is switching over. Round one, the Bengals start off Joe Burrow. No surprises. Chase Young for the Skins. Derek Brown, defensive lineman, Detroit. Oh, the Giants went with Isaiah Simmons. Oh, going to Miami.
Whoa.
Look at
we know what's going on here. We know what we're doing here.
And then, look at all this. Mekhi Becton at number 9. Okay,
off the board.
Worst comes off the board at number 7 for the Panthers. Okay. Gentlemen, we have our cards. And then as we look to the right, we see what's available. I'm going to write down who I want right now. So, guys,
Mine's
this
done.
is the war room.
Mine's
okay,
done. It's done already. Let's go.
Yes, this is the Jets war room, and this is sometimes what happens. You know what I mean? People have their wishes, and then they need to explain it to each other, and make sense of it. All right. So, hey, if we've all got our picks written down, let's go to that 4 shot because I want the whole world to see this right here.
Before we pick though, let's just take a look at what's happened so far here.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Sure.
Go ahead.
So realistically, we have in the 10 picks that came before us, we have Wirfs, Becton, and Judy as guys that we kind of had our eye on. All right, so those are people that I think from the consensus of the mock drafts that we've done on the text thread and everything like that, those are people that we would have been considering at this pick.
And guys, this is mock drafts that we've done on our own in our little chat group via text. So that's what Kyle was talking about.
Yeah. So me and Brian, and I'm not going to speak for you, Brian, if you want to add to this, but me and Brian have been a little bit shaky on Mekhi Becton as far as his bust potential. Brian more so than I. Maybe you want to talk about that for a second.
Yeah, I'll talk about it. I mean, for me, just kind of going back to it, Becton wasn't draftable at 11 for me. I felt like the tape didn't warrant that. Yeah, size is there, and the combine, awesome. But I don't want a combine warrior. I want somebody who has excellent tape, somebody who actually showed in the trenches what they could do. And I just felt like he's one of the people that you would take as a reach based on the combine results, and I just wasn't with that at that point in time. To me, there were 3 players I would look at 11 that could potentially be all pros. 2 of which are still sitting on the sideline right now and are draftable for us. So you had
without revealing that.
Okay.
I'll add to the Mekhi Becton thing, whereas we wouldn't have had consensus on that pick no matter what, because I don't think Brian or I would have
not at all
would have pounded the table for it.
Not
Kyle, by the way, you were funny, Kyle, because I wanted to get Becton in the weight room to jump up from 23 bench presses to at least 25 plus. Okay. And now you're saying that you don't necessarily want to draft him because you were getting on my case.
Well, it has nothing to do with his bench press. No, that's not. My opinion is not. Is not.
But you did say he's a heck of an athlete as well.
Well, I mean, I watched him play basketball. Let me be frank here. We're talking about the 11th pick.
Yes.
In the first round of the NFL draft, we're talking about a guy that you don't want to just be a starter. You want to be to retire with your team after 17 years and talk about
Ring of Honor, Hall of Famer.
To get in the Hall of Fame. So, with that said, I think that when you're gonna go out and get a guy like George Fant, and all the things that you're basing why you're getting him on, and then you're gonna draft a guy that's gonna compete with him, that has like the same exact kind of profile. I don't think that's a great idea. Also, a lot of the highlights that I saw of Becton have him playing on the right side. So there's a lot of things there. It's boom or bust. That's the way I see it. Hopefully, the Jacksonville Jaguars got Tony Baselli and not that guy from Texas that the Buffalo Bills picked a couple years ago that never did anything.
Well, I don't care who you know what, please.
You know what I mean? So that's just, I think we're all happy that the people that the choices that were made in front of us were made, perhaps leaving us with what we have here. So that's all I want to say about that.
And you know what? I happen to agree with you, Kyle, as far as, I had him ranked, but I had him ranked behind a number of people. So I'm glad that that it turned out the way that it turned out, because I have a certain pick in mind. And I'm ready to show.
Why don't you go ahead and start the show here?
All right. Well, you know what? Honestly, I'm going to break the fourth wall. Let's go to that 4th shot.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're on it right now, pretty much.
Okay, now we're on it. All right. All right, gentlemen. So at a count of 3, I'm going to ask you guys to reveal your picks. And in 3, 2, 1, reveal. All right, we've got Kyle Thomas, Kerry Thomas. I've got Jedrick Wills. Brian, who are you?
Let's make it real big. Andrew Thomas, baby.
Wow!
Bring the card forward, baby. Bring the card forward, baby.
I will tell you.
Go ahead, Kerry.
I originally had Wills on that thing. As you see, it was scratched out. But when I think about it, I like the fact that Thomas is a natural left tackle. And if we're gonna start this draft off, I would rather start this draft off with a left tackle than a dominant right tackle.
Listen, I mean, Andrew Thomas, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Andrew Thomas was the top-rated tackle going into the 2019 season, and he did nothing to change that. The guy is a wrecking ball, both good in the run as well as in the pass. And, I just think that he was consistently good for 3 solid years in the SEC, right? Ranked high, Pro Football Focus. From that perspective, and I'll probably get some data on that in a little bit. But the only thing he didn't do was not do as well as the other folks did in the combine. That's it. Mm-hmm. I mean, the folks in the combine
did pretty well.
Yeah, he did pretty well. He did pretty well for an offensive tackle, right? These other guys just did extraordinarily better for an offensive tackle, and which is fine, but I don't need my tackle being able to have to be a dancing bear and run a 4.5 and all these other things. I need him to keep people off of my quarterback and to open up holes for my running back. And if you can do that, let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
I would say Thomas is the number 2 tackle on my big board.
Yep.
And I had Wirfs as my number 1 because of his versatility. Because if you do strike gold with George Fant, you could bump Wirfs into guard, and he really could play both positions.
I agree.
Now, with that said, I'm gonna go with the next guy on my board, and I have Thomas ahead of CeeDee Lamb and Ruggs as you know, on the big board as BPA also. So
so do I.
It fills my need. It fills my need, and it also goes with a high value as well.
So let me just clarify right here, just to our audience. So basically, we need to come to a unanimous consensus before moving on.
Unanimous consensus.
Not unanimous. Not unanimous.
I'm not done yet.
Consensus is 3 out of 4.
Wait,
right.
What did you say?
Right.
I said, okay, so maybe I said it wrong.
Yeah.
But we need to come to a decision where all 4 of us agree. And then that will allow our draft to, you know, to go on or to move forward.
Correct.
But let's just say if we don't do that, for each round, we're going to have someone be the general manager and make that executive decision. That's why I was saying, you know, just let me finish. And so for this first round, it's going to be me, but I'm the only one that thinks differently here. I'm picking Jedrick Wills, and I just want to just quickly read. I just wanted to give the audience that just so that they can kind of know what we're doing. Here is an analyst here that's talking about Jedrick Wills. His last name is Krabs. In all caps, unbelievable. He's an elite pass protector with the best blend of step cadence, framing, redirection, skill, patience, and anchorability. Quick sets, vertical sets, 45-degree sets, you name it. He can execute at a high level. He's patient with his hands. He's effective stab and snatch techniques. They love his length. They love his balance. They're talking about hand technique. His power at the point of attack. He says, you better stay low. If he rolls his hips on you, it is over. Basically, they have him listed as the best, not right tackle or left tackle, but offensive tackle in college. So that's why I went with him. I kind of wanted to go with the absolute best overall. He's my number 1 ranked tackle. Then I have Wirfs. Then I have Thomas. Okay. But like I was saying before, since I'm kind of outvoted on this, there's no need for me as this round's GM to exert my executive privileges because it's 3 out of 4, and it looks like I'm gonna, you know, have to concede, and we'll be walking the Thomas card up to the podium in this one, which I'm not mad at because he is the best left tackle in this draft. But I just had to explain where I was coming from.
Well, Brian and Kerry, you know why he's the GM for this round, right? Because he did the most bench press reps in the combine. That's why. That's how he got that. That was his.
Oh Lord! Did he do more than Makai?
I did
more than Makai Pfeiffer.
More than Makai Pfeiffer.
All right, the pick is walking up to the podium.
Walk that pick up to the podium.
That's right.
Sidebar. The guy that takes the card from the table of the team represented to the podium, lives in Floral Park, and I used to always see him on the train.
Get out of here!
Oh yeah, on the Long Island Railroad. I think I mentioned that before, but I don't think anybody else on the train knew who he was, but me, because I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
All right.
So wait. Before.
Wow.
Oh yeah, we're already going. All right. Let's see.
We already going to round 2. Okay.
Yeah, headed that direction.
Let's get it.
We're headed in that direction.
And you know what?
Jedrick Wills went all the way to 18.
I like that guy, Yatur Gross Matos.
Oh, Mims going early.
First
Mims
round.
going at 23.
Yeah, man. I don't know if it's
Justin
going to play itself
Jefferson
out that
in the
way, but let's
first round.
see. Yeah, absolutely. Come on, let's go. Come on,
Gladney's
my guy.
overrated.
My
I
guy.
like that cornerback.
My guy.
AJ
He's still there. My
Terrell.
guy's still there. My guy's still there. I think my guy's still there. My guy's still there.
My guy just got picked up.
Oh, come on. My guy is still there, baby.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, whew,
And now, when you say your guy, are we talking about Pittman?
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look at this, fellas.
Yeah, scroll up. I want to see.
On the side here.
Wow.
These are the BPAs based upon the site we're using's thing. So if we look here, see.
Can you go down a little further?
Yeah, we still have Michael Pittman Jr. there, Jeremy Chin, who I talked about on the text stream. That's somebody I like. Chenault, another guy, very versatile player. Brandon Ayuk. All right, now team War Room.
Wow.
Are we on the we're on the clock right now, Brandon? Right?
Yes, we are. Yep.
Okay.
Well, actually, you know what? Yeah, you know what? Yes, we are on the clock right now.
Okay.
8 minutes.
So, guys, do we want to target a wide receiver in round 2, or do we want to go with some value here, thinking that we can get to round 3 and get a guy that we like?
That's the question, right? I mean, here you're talking about BPA versus need, and this is where horrible GMs get caught in bad situations, and we could trade back, right, by reaching for need, and that's where you get into trouble here. Now, we could normally trade back, potentially, but you got to have a trade partner for that. Just because we've done it in simulation does not mean that in the real world that somebody is going to actually trade back with you. So, that's something that you have to work through here. But, when I'm looking at the board, it's also, this is not a board we created per se. We're looking at the the top 50 or whatever based on their thought processes, not necessarily ours. And
because I think Chenault dropped way too low. This is definitely not our draft board.
No, and
let me ask a question. I know that Brandon and I came into this War Room with tiered wide receiver picks. So maybe we talk about if we're all in consensus that we want to go with wide receiver at this pick, or if we know that we're going to consider that, who would be the pick at wide receiver if we go there, and then maybe we can walk it back and say, what else do we have available there at other positions?
Or do we just flash the card and then talk about it afterwards? I mean, we've had numerous, a bunch of time in order to think about this at this point and what our tiering is at this juncture. So I'd rather just flash the card at this point and then having the conversation afterwards.
All right, I'm good to do.
I agree.
I'm good for that.
So, all right, so let's go to that 4 shot again, and I'm standing by ready. I'm ready to flash dance.
Hey, flashing people. All right, 1.
Hold on.
Warm to your stack.
I'm gonna mess up the name.
I already know who you're picking then if you're messing up the name.
You told on yourself.
That's right.
All right. You ready?
All right, here we go.
2, 1.
And reveal.
Bam.
Kerry, tilt yours down. Yep. Up. What you got, B? Yep. I'm seeing 3 Chenaults.
This look like consensus.
You got 4 Chenaults there. You got 4
Chenaults.
You know.
Let's talk about why.
But you know what? I'm taking it with a grain of salt. I would have traded up for Higgins. To be honest with you, if everything was
you would have traded up for Higgins.
What would you have given?
Oh wait. All right, no. Let me take that back.
Higgins got picked at the 44th pick.
Yeah. That was close, right? So maybe I wouldn't have traded up, but I would have wanted to. let me say that. Let me say
fix yourself.
Yeah, if I fix my face. But Chenault is the guy, I think, at this juncture. He was in the 2nd round tier for me. I didn't think he was a 1st round draft pick. He's an offensive weapon more so than a wide receiver from that perspective. Yard after the catch, a beast. All over the place. I mean, you can rush him. You could have him catching passes out of the backfield. But for me, I would have preferred to have a wide receiver 1 versus an offensive weapon in this slot. And that's why T. Higgins for me would have been the pick had he lasted to that point, or if it was just, hey, not giving up a lot of draft capital in order to move up a couple spots in order to take him, I would have done so. But based on how the draft played itself out, Shenault was the guy.
All right, I think that if I'm looking at my board here in my tiers, Lamb, Judy, Ruggs, Jefferson, and Higgins, and Mims are gone. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now my rankings were Lamb, Judy, Ruggs, Shenault, Ayuk, Jefferson, Higgins. So the top 2 of my second tier are available there. To me, Shenault is a better version of Bowden. Whereas I really love Bowden. I think that Shenault is a more polished version of that. So all the things that Brian said about Shenault, like offensive weapon wise, like even as like a running back 3, like your third down running back, slot receiver, outside receiver,
sure.
Deebo Samuel, guys that you just want to get the ball to, Edelman, dudes like that. I think Shenault I'm really happy that he falls there to us, and that people valued my lower ranking guys above him, so then he falls to us. So I'm really happy.
What I want to say,
Kerry, go ahead, Kerry.
Yeah, what I want to say is, I totally agree with what Brian is saying with regard to getting that more polished receiver. I think at this point, at 48, if that polished receiver is not there, then Shenault is a great alternative in that he's a playmaker. We need that playmaker. So we're going to need that playmaker regardless. That guy that we can give the ball on third down, who can return punts. I'm not concerned about the kickoffs per se, but definitely the punts. And he's not going to be available 20 picks later.
Oh, no.
No.
In the third round. But I think that guy who could be our possession, who could be our long distance home run hitter that can, catch the ball in traffic, has size. I think we can get that in the third round.
I think we got it in Brashad Perriman.
Yes, but again, we also want to get another one of those guys. I believe.
I'll tell you what. As far as Shenault is concerned, he was ranked up until maybe a week and a half ago in the top 5 wide receivers out there, and then now his stock has fallen somewhat. I think it's because he's got a little bit of an injury history over there at Colorado.
Yeah,
but the guy is basically
got an injury, right? That's what I wanted to mention. Yeah,
and that's what it was. But the guy's a playmaker. The guy is basically what Anunwa wishes he could be, because he's a big guy. He's 6'2", 220 pounds. He's fast, and he's also like a ping pong ball. He's all over the place. Like he's explosive, and you can put him just about anywhere. He's a playmaker. You guys know how much I just love Pittman Jr. I love him, but I do value Shenault more than him. Pittman is more of your traditional 6'4", 220-pound receiver with maybe a high 4.5 type speed. But Shenault is just more explosive, and I had to go with him because we, as the New York Jets, we need playmakers. And as far as how the Jets are, they kind of like multifaceted players to try to put them here, put them there, even down to the linemen. So I'm kind of following that philosophy as well as far as why I picked Shenault.
I have two questions out there. So does it concern you that at the combine he ran a 4.58? I guess is the first thing. And then the second
at 220? No.
Okay.
And I think he had a tweaked hamstring when he ran it as well.
Okay. All right. And the second thing is you have Isaiah Thomas that was there on their draft board, which would have been close to the BPA where we pick. So what's your thought process around that? How high did you value
Isaiah Wilson?
Isaiah Wilson. I'm sorry, Isaiah Wilson.
The tackle?
Yeah, the old tackle, right tackle.
I'm gonna go back to the screen.
As a second round pick?
I'm asking. I'm just asking. If we're staying true to the board that's their board. It's not necessarily ours. So I was just asking where you guys put Isaiah. I want to say Thomas all the time, right? Isaiah Wilson on that draft board.
I think Isaiah Wilson is a good guy in round 3, 4.
Yeah.
Or in round 2 if you went.
He won't last to 4.
Round 1.
He won't last to 4. He's going to definitely go in round 3 at the latest. As a matter of fact, he'll go in round 2. Isaiah
He's
Wilson,
a New York City kid
in this draft.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, I have, just to put it out there, I have no interest in drafting him whatsoever, especially since we already have Andrew Thomas. I have no interest in drafting another tackle because there's so many other things that we need and that will be of high value to us. We've already gotten the tackle, the best left tackle in the draft. And then also, as we go down, I'm looking at, at like a good guard or something like that if we stay in the O-lineman lane. But that's, further down the list.
Well, that's why
we'll talk about interior O-lineman when we get to that debate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what you're talking about, Brandon, is more need versus BPA. Just so that, what you're referring to there. So that's why I brought up the conversation. Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, Kyle and I had a back and forth about, BPA versus, say, need. And I don't think it's mutually exclusive. Sometimes you absolutely have to go with need. Like 2 years ago, we needed a franchise quarterback, and we made sure that we trade up and lost all those second-round picks to make sure that we got a franchise quarterback. So I'm not just all the way 100% married to you always go BPA. Either way, you go for a really, really good player.
But didn't that marry BPA and need at the same time with Darnold? I mean, where he was ranked,
so.
Right? That's when it wins. When you win, when BPA marries need. But you
exactly.
You don't want to go outside of your board in order to reach for need. So that's kind of the balance that you got to work.
And that's why we're saying it's not mutually exclusive. It's
right.
Not like BPA and need, like they're two separate things. You can come together and find a great player, that services both. And that's the ultimate goal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think what we were getting into too in our argument, but we got to make this pick because we got to keep
we
rolling,
do.
Was the need to pick a corner at a 5th round, 4th, 5th, 6th round, when, in my opinion, there's not that much difference between that corner and the street free agent.
Right. Well, you know what? When we get to that 5th round, as I say, smiling, we'll see what presents itself. So,
all right,
Kyle,
the pick is in.
Yes, the pick is in. Look at that. Chanel
Then
Jr.
we're off. Jacob Eason going to the Bears.
Wow.
Isaiah Wilson to the Giants.
To the Giants. Good pick by them. Good pick.
Oh, Robert Hunt just went. That's one of the interior guys I liked.
Oh, dang.
Oh, man. I would have doubled up on that, dude. I would have doubled up. But I got somebody right here. I'm ready to
see
rock.
who you got. I know who you got.
Guys,
I already know who Brandon has.
Brandon Ayuk is still on the board.
Yes, he is.
Huh. Y'all better start writing with your pens because I'm done.
Wait. I'm going to pick the guy Raekwon just because his name is Raekwon.
There's a couple of Raekwons in the draft.
He's got to be the chef.
One.
He's got to be the chef.
Know that. And there's a couple Brandons in this draft too, so it's got to be the kid.
Wow.
Got some players still left. I see the scroll. I see the scroll rider frame.
Go back up, Kyle. Go back up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is not going to be a consensus, guys.
I figured because Kyle's all over that chin, dude. Anyway, I'm starting.
He's all over that chin.
Yeah, he's got that double chin. He's on that double chin. All right, I'm starting this timer up right now. Here we go. All righty, so we guys have it on our pieces of paper, index cards or whatever?
Yeah, I already revealed, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't reveal.
Let's
go to that fourth shot.
But I'm sharing my screen so nobody sees it anyway.
All right. Here we go. 3,
2, 1.
Oh, wow.
Put yours down, Kerry. Where's?
What's your? I can't see. because all I see is chin music with Kyle.
Yeah, he's got Chin.
I
I've
knew
got
I
Brandon
knew
Ayuk.
I
Okay.
knew that that Kerry was gonna pick Ane because
He
picked
loves
Ane.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
so we got 2 A's then. That's me too.
What you picked Ane also?
I did pick an A also.
All right, let's So I guess since you guys both had Ane, talk me into it.
So I'll open up his card there and see
All right,
what
hold on.
they're saying about him.
Yeah,
They'll start the conversation there.
yeah. Let's go full screen on that. See what's up. Talk to him.
Okay.
Defense. Bradley and A.
All right.
I can read it if you guys like.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Positives. Impactful pass rusher who significantly improved his draft stock last season. Agile, can bend off the edge and flatten to pursue the action. Immediately alters his angle of attack. Displays the ability to make plays in space and stays with the action. Remains disciplined with assignments and does more than just mindlessly rush up the field. Fires off the snap with a quick first step. Works his hands throughout the action and slices through blocks on the inside. Shows a variety of moves to get off blocks. Plays with terrific pad level. Effective out of a three-point stance and standing over tackle. The negatives. He struggles to get off blocks once engaged. Outpositioned by opponents if he does not get the first step. He kind of ran poorly at the combine. Primarily used up the field at Utah. So the overall analysis is Ane displayed terrific progress the past 3 seasons and has watched his draft stock climb north except for his poor 40 at the combine. He's a fluid, agile pass rusher with the athleticism necessary to be used in space, and he only needs to improve his strength. So
Can you guys give me
stronger and faster.
A height and weight on Ane?
I think he's 6'3", 257, just going off of memory.
Yeah, 6'3",
Okay, so-
265. Yeah, that's right.
So he's a 4-3 end, and we play a version of a 3-4.
They say he stands up as well. He can play out of the 2-point stance as well.
Okay, so looking at Bradley and I and what he brings to the table.
Yep.
Let's take a look at Chin for a second.
Right.
Scouting report coming soon.
You know what?
We know nothing about him. In other words.
Okay, so let me tell you what Daniel Jeremiah and Bucky Brooks have to say about him.
All right.
He is a Cam Chancellor type of safety, David Fulcher type of safety in the realm of between 225 and 230, 6'2", can play. Like I said earlier in the text thing, he's kind of like a poor man's Isaiah Simmons, although people see Isaiah Simmons as more of a linebacker and less of a safety. You'd reverse that with Jeremy Chin. You'd say that Jeremy Chin is coming from safety down into the box. So he's like a what's his name from the Chargers. The name is escaping me right now.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
Yep.
Pro Bowler too. I know who you're talking about.
Devin. I got so many names going through my head right now.
We know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So and like Jamal Adams is forced to be in our defense currently because he's the only one that has the skill set. Now think about what it would be like if you had a Jamal Adams and another guy who could rush, who could cover, and could drop back and play half-field safety. I think this guy brings tremendous value with his skill set. And we just picked a receiver in round 2. And I think that Brandon Ayuk or another receiver, if we really want to go that direction, is going to be available when we make the next pick.
Second pick in the third, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the reason why I went with that. And
That's the reason why I went Ane.
yeah, and I felt like the guys that were there, Ayuk is kind of similar to Shenault, and that he's like, let's take a slant to the house, or but he's not like your prototypical 6'4", outside WR1 that I would try to pair Shenault with. from that perspective. So listen, so Bradley, that's your name, right, Bradley?
Well,
So,
hold on.
Okay.
Are you about to talk about Bradley? Because I didn't get to talk about my pick yet.
Yeah, I mean that was on purpose. You know,
Okay,
I
ahead,
don't want
bro.
you to talk about your pick, man. Bro.
Yeah, you're funny.
Who was your pick again?
Well, it was Brandon Ayuk, and the reason why I
okay.
picked him is because he is another playmaker. He is a receiver. He's only 6 foot, but that's tall enough. He fights for balls. He also is a returner as well. So I don't like Berrios. He needs to go. He's our returner that's on the Jets right now. So we're servicing the receiver position as well as the return position, as well as the overall playmaker. So I like him a lot. Honestly, if Pittman was there, I would have wanted to pick him because then I would have like
Pittman,
a play.
man.
I do.
Pittman and
I
Ayuk
love
are
this
so much
kid.
different, though.
No. I know. That's why I would have wanted to compliment them. Like it would have been like Chenault and Pittman or Ayuk and Pittman.
Oh, okay, I understand. Or like Claypool
Yes.
and Chenault or something
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah. So
Now,
I got
I think
something like that. But
I think Claypool will be available with the next pick.
I think he'll definitely be available as well. So that's why I am very willing to concede to the majority. But this is what I wanted.
We don't have a majority.
We don't have a majority.
Well, we're going to end up having a majority, or somebody's going to make an executive decision over here.
Well, I mean, when two out of 4 be 50%, I thought that was.
All right.
I mean, I could be wrong.
That was it for me.
51% is a majority, Brian.
Well, it's not the exact majority, I guess. So we need 3 out of 4 in order to roll.
Let's go. Let's go back to the screen real quick. Where has Josh Uche been picked yet?
Uche?
He's the defensive. He's the stand-up outside linebacker for Michigan.
So a guy that me and Brandon really like.
No, he's gone. I think he's off the board.
I think Kelly. I think Perry really likes Kenny Wilkes.
Oh yeah.
Also, who is still available there, but I don't want to pick him this high.
Oh heck no.
Nah.
And if I have confidence that we could get him, I don't need to pick Bradley and Nye, because I love the dude's skill set.
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of the options after the second round, for the most part, except for Bradley and Nay of the defensive ends.
So I mean, can we talk about Nay a little bit? I mean,
Yeah, sure. Talk about it. Yeah,
all right. So listen. So last year, you're talking about a 4-year starter. You're talking about somebody that tore up the Senior Bowl, who showed up very well there. Couldn't be blocked there. 13 sacks last year, and 4 tackles for loss. 7.5 sacks the year before, and 7 sacks the year prior to that. So from sophomore to senior year, I mean, 7+ sacks, and obviously grew tremendously as a senior. Relentless, somebody that is not going to give up on the play. So I like folks with high motors and just love playing football. So, this is, to me, and when you look at the BPA for him, it's at 68, and we're picking him at 68, from that perspective. So it's kind of in line with where we are drafting as well. And, just like you guys said before, to me, BPA matches need. Equals. We need an outside pass rusher. This is somebody that we can slot in there. I'm not concerned about the 4-3-3-4, fit, because you have Greg Williams back there who's very flexible, and you give him somebody that's a piece of clay, and he's going to make something out of him. So I think Ane is somebody that we would do well selecting as our first selection in the 3rd round. And again, the wide receivers that were there, like everybody else said, kind of match up with who we already drafted. If we would have had a T. Higgins drafted, then I would have gone with a Ayuk or somebody else, because I felt like that would have been a good fit at that juncture. So, Kerry, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that.
I mean, I just, to reiterate what you're saying about how he has ascended from year to year, what I often look at is technique, and from what the evaluation of this player is that he has increased his level of play each year, and in the process has developed a technique over that time frame. So I look at this guy as somebody who's going to sort of, if we pass up on him and he ends up with a team that we know is a rival,
Patriots,
it's going to be a problem. Similar to what happened last year.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
And listen, this is what I was talking about, because I got that sense, and that this is what I was saying basically about the majority rule, so to speak. I'm willing to concede the Brandon Ayuk, because I value Ane very high as well. I'm just coming from a perspective of Darnold's our quarterback. Let's just give him a litter of weapons and let's just go offense. But you know what? We have probably the best defensive coordinator in the entire NFL. This guy made, a lemonade out of the lemons that he was given to have one of the top-ranked defenses. And if we give this guy someone like Bradley Anae, forget about it. So I'm going to concede my position, and I'm going to go with Bradley Anae. I already crossed my card out and rewrote it, and that was a great sell by both of you guys.
Nice. I'm talking
Okay.
about.
And Brandon,
Okay.
to your point, I definitely agree with the giving our quarterback the weapons that he requires. But Thomas and Shenault are two weapons, right?
Yes.
And I think we're all in consensus that we're going to draft another offensive player.
Yeah.
At 79. So
Could be.
Copy that.
Looks like the pick is in.
Yep.
Ding,
Bradley
ding,
Anae.
ding.
Any of my guys? I like that Damon Annette cornerback, though. I'll tell you that much.
Ayuk just went off the board.
boom.
Okay, now we are back here, and I'm going to make the same argument for Chin. All right. So now, hold on a second. Now we have to re-sign Jamal Adams to a high contract, right?
And we are.
All right, and we are. Marcus May is not going to get that money.
No,
And we are going to need somebody. Yes. We're going to need somebody to put in Marcus May's position, and I think that Joe Douglas is already thinking about that because he went out and tried to sign some other safeties. And we have not finished the season in the last 2 years with both May and Jamal Adams on the field at the same time for the majority of it.
Kyle, could you show us the go back to the draft board for a second? I just want to see what,
because we got a lot of players there that we really like. I mean, Donovan Peoples-Jones, I think, is available.
I don't like Donovan Peoples-Jones at all, and I will not co-sign.
I'm just saying he's available. I'm not saying that you're going to get you want him. I'm just saying he's available.
Honestly,
he's been on some of these people's
Lynn Bowden's
boards.
available too.
Lynn Bowden's there.
I don't want Lynn Bowden at 79.
Lynn Bowden ain't going to last much longer than that.
He isn't.
Not with every other guy except Claypool off the board from my initial tiers.
Where's Claypool at?
Claypool is not ranked high.
He's not ranked high, no.
No. 89.
That means he won't be there at 120.
Maybe not.
We were all high on Hennessy. That sounds
funny.
We all like Tennessee, but I think that with the McGovern signing, we don't really want to go in that direction now.
Unfortunately.
So I mean, we're looking at Chin. If you like Edwards-Helaire, maybe you want.
I was going to say that.
You know what? Why don't we reveal what we've written down and then continue to talk about the other possibilities?
I mean, I'm with that.
Okay, so pick number 79. Let's go to our split screen here. All right, and the reveal will come in 5, 4, 3, 2, and reveal. Kyle with the chin. He loves that chin. Kyle is double chin. I got Claypool. Kerry, who you got? Who you got, B? Because it's hard to see yours.
I got Lynn Bowden.
Lynn Bowden.
At 79, baby.
Oh, he's got the running back. Kerry's got Edwards-Helaire.
All right. If we're trying to get the consensus from here, I'm with Brian.
Okay.
What did Brian pick?
Lynn Bowden. So, and here's my thought process real quick. Another offensive weapon, to your point, Brandon. Somebody that you can put all over the field. Also, our backup quarterback. Oh, by the way, because I think we need one of those. right?
Yeah.
But I don't think that he's good enough at quarterback to be a pro backup quarterback.
Well,
And I don't trust Gase coaching this type of a quarterback.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
I was like, what
yeah,
is
I'm
the
going
over
there.
under
Yeah,
when Gase's name's
I'm
gonna be
going there. I'm
mentioned?
going there. I'm going
He's
there.
not, but I mean, you look at his stats. I mean, he was really pedestrian as a passer.
Well, I mean, so you would have to change the offense. Obviously, you don't want Darnold off of the field, right? You don't want him to get mono. You don't want any other issues like he's had the last couple of years. So but if you have to put somebody back there, where are we going to draft this person? It's probably going to be an undrafted free agent that we're going to bring in, or we're going to sign a Matt Moore or somebody like that. But I feel like if you have him potentially back there and you sign a Matt Moore in addition to that, you have an offensive weapon that you could put anywhere. Run the Wildcat. Imagine him and Chenault running the Wildcat. I mean, what does that look like? Right? What does that look like? Right? I mean, that would be absolutely crazy at that point in time. So when I think about him and the stature being short and all those other things, but being offensive weapons, I think about the Kansas City Chiefs and what their offensive weapons look like. They're not all tall and 6'4", wide receivers. They are yards after the catch demons. They are speed demons down the field. And I think that Lynn Bowden at this point in time, because some of the other folks are off the board, I'd rather know somebody that could put the ball in the end zone from all different points on the field, and I think he's the guy that can do that for us.
I hear you, B. But I'm not 100% a fan of this guy. I picked Claypool. Claypool is your traditional 6'4", 220-pound wide receiver. Actually, 226 pounds. He ran a 4.38, I believe, in the 40. He reminds me of the big receivers, big and athletic receivers that Tampa Bay has, and they've got two Pro Bowlers there in Mike Evans and I forget the other one's name.
Godwin.
Yep.
Exactly, Godwin. Yeah. And I think that we need a Godwin or a Mike Evans on our team. We have Crowder, who is a great slot and utility type of player. We just drafted Chenault. I don't think we necessarily need Bowden. I don't respect him as a quarterback, and even if he was there, I wouldn't respect him in the system and the coaching of Gase because, I'm not really that much of a Gase fan. But what I would love to see is someone that can jump up and get 50-50 balls, someone that you can trust emphatically to dominate in the red zone, and also just someone who can just kind of potentially blow the top off of someone and still be big with that 4.38 40 time, and the guy can catch. And I like him a lot.
Did you feel like looking at his highlights that he looked like he ran a 4.3 or 4.4? I just from everything I read, and I don't know if you want to pull that up, Kyle, about Claypool, is that the field didn't look like he ran as fast as he ran on the combine. People were actually shocked, a little bit surprised at that because he ran a little slow on the field.
You know why? Because he's a big dude. I mean, does Mike Evans look like he runs what he runs? He's a big dude. But you know what? He's catching over people. He's running by people, So, yeah, I mean, I can read you something about this guy on one of these other sites. But I happen to like this guy a lot. 6'4", 229 pounds, not 226. I'm sorry. It says here, height, weight, speed. He's a physical specimen. Won't get bumped off his spot as a route runner or at the catch point, and he embraces the physical components of the position. Comes down with the share of contested catches where he finds success because of his frame and body positioning. Love the way he competes after the catch and challenges defenders with physicality. He isn't overly creative, but he battles for yards and works to find space. He's a tough guy playing receiver. He's tough and he's fast. I love it. We already have the little jitterbugs as well. Let's get some physical dominance over there. Plus, he's fast. Forget about it.
I think that he might be available at our next pick. Also, Claypool.
He won't.
But this Lynn Bowden, 2 touchdowns on 5 punt returns as a sophomore.
Right.
The guy had 30 passes caught at wide receiver in 5 games before he moved to quarterback, and then rushed for 1,400 yards at quarterback when against 9-man boxes where everyone knew he was going to run. He only passed the ball 74 times. So, I mean, like this is a dude where it was like, stop me. Come on, try to stop me. And I told you he's real testy because he punched the dude from Virginia Tech in the face in the pregame.
Yeah, and didn't get suspended, right?
And so I like him. He plays with a rough and tumble style and displays great elusiveness and the ability to create yardage. Plays with a fearless style.
So does Claypool.
Chances and always works to pick up positive yardage.
So does Claypool.
All right, moving on. Bowden it is.
So how many people for Bowden?
We got 3 now.
3. All right, I guess it is what it is. Let's move on then.
Hold on, no. I still want to talk about value here, and I think that
you still on Chin?
I think that Chin is a better value considering that we already picked Chenault.
No way. I think that picking a safety is something that's not even. I'm not picking a safety at all.
You can't think of him as a safety though.
Why not? He plays safety.
You have to think of him as
a defensive weapon.
Yeah, you have to think of him as the dude in this draft that can play 3 positions.
I don't think that Chin, as far as the way that we are positioned as a team and the things that we need to continue to develop this team, basically, I'll put it to you this way. I would pick, and I'm not even that much of a Bowden guy, I would pick Bowden over Chin, and I most certainly would pick Claypool over Chin. We need more offensive weapons on this team, and we have a really good, that could be a borderline great quarterback if we give him protection and weapons. So we need to service our franchise quarterback, and that's how I'm looking at it.
I agree.
That's how I'm looking at it.
I also believe that a good defense and a good running game that we have tried to solidify with the strengthening of our O-line and the fact that we have Le'Veon Bell will make Sam Darnold a better quarterback too. So and a more upright quarterback and a quarterback that has to manage a game but can also take shots and show how good he is. So I don't think that I'm going to talk you into it. I think I've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to talk you into it. But I think we have a difference of opinion here on where the value of pick 79 is. And I think that, we.
So let's say this, Kyle, as an example. So you pick this guy, and how long do the contracts last in the 3rd round? What is it on a 3-year, and then you have a 4th-year option versus a 4 and a 5?
Right, I think so.
So 3 and a 4, right? So let's say he plays lights out, and then you're talking about him potentially replacing our current free safety, and then you're talking about signing Jamal Adams to a deal, and then let's say this guy plays lights out. How unbalanced is our salary cap going to be if we now have to repay this guy in addition to how much money we're paying Jamal Adams at that point? We're gonna have a lot of money tied up into the safety positions. I just don't,
But who is this guy gonna be? This guy is what Darren Lee never was. He's a will. He's a will that can drop and play safety. He's a will that can come off the edge. He's stout. So he'll be cheap for 3 years. Jamal Adams and Marcus May need to be re-signed next year. So so he is an insurance policy for that. The other thing with him, with just thinking about it value wise here, is that I don't think Claypool would even be a lock to make the team.
Oh, whoa, come on. Oh, Lord. You gotta be kidding.
That is another argument. Guys, we're running low on time.
Yes, we gotta move on. But we gotta move on. We'll end that one with a wow. But yes.
Well, Brandon, neither you nor I are going to win this argument. So
no. So that's why we're gonna pick Bowden, because that's the consensus, right?
Yep.
We Bowden.
All right, let's Bowden it is. So now we gotta wait 51 picks, and then let's see what happens at 120.
They'll go fast.
Hey, I'm studying my 120 right now.
I gotta resume.
Let it go.
That's right. Resume. Let's go.
I'm telling you right now, I don't like any corners at this point forward.
He's setting it up already. He's setting it up.
Sean Bradley, the center out of BYU.
You got Jack Driscoll over here out of Auburn. Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Oh, man. Clyde Edwards-Hilaire going to 102. Oh, Logan Stenberg's off the board. I'm pissed.
I know you are.
Chase Claypool.
Went to Detroit.
Bye,
109. Yep, I knew he wasn't going to be there at 120.
Go not make somebody else.
Studying my 120.
Studying my 120. Yo, call me back at the guard hour.
Right. Look who's available.
Yeah, I see. Here's another one. Gee whiz, this guy Kyle's going to go nuts. The answer is no.
If you don't pick this guy at 120, yeah, you just I'm not going to say something mean right now.
Click. Hey, Kyle, can you click the RB button for me real quick? Oh, thank you.
All right, so there are several running backs that I like here.
Yep.
And we did go with the pass rusher in round 2. Is there anybody on the defensive side of the ball that we're considering right now?
Can you click on cornerback for me, Kyle?
No, I can't.
Oh, he won't.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't like any of these corners, and I'd rather go with what we got and sign some dudes off the street, or sign one of these dudes off the street because they will be on the street.
So we're in the 4th round. Another 8 minute. Some timers on right now. Let's go War Room. I'm already ready with my pick 120.
Go back to the all.
Who were you guys reacting to me on?
Number 100.
Oh, Zach Moss?
No,
what?
That's a different one.
My bad. No.
You thinking Thad Moss?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
Thad Moss hasn't been picked yet.
Yeah.
But based on our War Room right now,
He ain't getting picked.
I don't necessarily. I'm not even thinking about him right now. Maybe next round. And to be fair, most of the times I pick him, it's when I made trades and I have extra picks.
True.
You guys like running backs here? Let's talk running backs.
Well, let's select a player and then
Yeah.
and then chat it up.
I've selected. Have you guys all selected?
I have.
Kyle,
I'm
Terry.
ready.
All right, stand by for Kyle then. Let us know when you're good, Mr. McKenna. 7 more minutes. Actually, less than that.
Anybody know the height and weight on Zach Moss?
No.
5'10", 222.
All right. I'm making.
I'm ready.
All right, let's hurry this up.
3. Hold on.
All right, here
3,
we go, team.
2, 1.
Kyle's got McFarland. I have McFarland. Kerry has A.J. Dillon. And Brian, I can't see you. Announce yours.
I have Zach Moss.
I'm going to tell you why I don't like A.J. Dillon here. And I know, Kerry, that you've picked him a lot in your mocks. And I picked him late. But he's not a complete back by any means. He's and these BC backs haven't had a lot of success in the league. And they've kind of all come out like the same type, like where they get 30 carries a game, and they're powerful and they have high yards per carry, but they don't really catch passes or anything like that. So that's why I'm a little down on A.J. Dillon here.
I like Dillon because I like the change of pace. I think we have running backs in our system right now that are not necessarily banging it in between the tackles consistently. And we haven't had that guy in a minute as far as pushing the ball upfield. We need to run the ball for the purpose of playing smash mouth ball, running out the clock, possession ball. We haven't had that running back. And I think A.J. Dillon is that guy. He doesn't fumble. And he's nasty. And, I get the fact that he's limited in terms of, not being able to get to the corner, things of that nature. He doesn't make guys miss, but he's going to punish you.
Gotcha. Now, I'm going to read this to you guys, and let me know if there's any interest here. McFarland is lightning in a bottle with his springy footwork, explosive acceleration, and dynamic moves, a home run threat each and every time he touches the football. McFarland thrives in space with wide zone and cutback runs. While he presents a number of challenges to opposing defenses, McFarland does have limitation in pass protection and winning in short yardage situations. He should command touches early in his career with an upside to thrive as a complementary running back too. Since we have Le'Veon Bell, I think that this guy would complement him so extremely well. And then maybe after, let's just say Le'Veon is no longer with the team, he would have had time to develop into a full-time starter. He reminds me of Bilal Powell on steroids. I've watched film on this guy. He can run, he can catch, he can just juke you out of your shoes, and you're not catching him once he makes, a move to the open field. And the guy is just a relentless ball carrier. I fell in love with him. He plays for Maryland, and just another weapon. It seems like the theme for us is presenting this offense with weapons, and he is a weapon. Lightning in the bottle, it just doesn't get any better than that. That means he could strike at any point in time, and we need game breakers like that. We have zero game breakers on this football team.
Yeah, he ran 4.34 in the 40.
Oh, well, were you kidding me? I love it. 4.34, man.
The thing that Brandon's bringing up about like the similarities between Le'Veon Bell and McFarland.
No, I didn't say similarities. I was saying
similarities.
Complementary.
Well, all right. So I had been sharing those Move the Sticks podcasts with Bucky Brooks and Daniel Jeremiah. I really respect a lot of the things that they have to say, especially Daniel Jeremiah broke down from the 90s Bill Belichick's like personnel breakdowns of what they want to draft in for the Cleveland when he was with the Cleveland Browns. And they talk about how you want your number one back to be that guy that can do everything. Your number two back to be that guy that is like an A.J. Dillon, power guy. And then your number three back to be more like the number one than the number two, so that if number one goes down, you replace him with number three, and number two can still do the function that you had him on the team for.
Right. Makes a lot of sense, Kyle.
And if that's the way we see our team and our roster, then I think that Kerry makes a better argument for A.J. Dillon than you and I, Brandon, make for McFarland. Zach Moss might be in between those two. But I think that A.J. Dillon can get got later.
Go ahead, Kerry.
That's fair. That's fair.
Do you feel like you have Bowden here and getting McFarland is kind of duplicating the same player? At least
I don't think there's any redundancy here. I don't think so. I mean, Le'Veon Bell is an explosive player as well. I mean, why not go for these explosions? I think McFarland is just a pure runner. And, like running backs, we love pure running backs, and he is a pure one. He's just a straight up great runner. So, and he can catch. Put him out there for screens. He can run behind. He can run through any zone place. He can run with linemen in front of him. The guy is just a runner. He's an explosive player, and you're not going to catch him. And I mean, come on, man. The guy's going to be an asset to whatever team that he's on.
So we got 2 from McFarland already, right?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna switch my vote.
Then you guys got it.
I'm gonna switch my vote. I'm gonna be McFarland too, man.
All right, bet. There we go.
All right, I would say we should keep an eye on Muti from Fresno State.
I like him.
He's like one of my next level guards that hasn't gone anywhere yet.
Don't try to sway my vote, bro.
No, I'm not talking. I'm talking about for later. All right, so we're gonna go with McFarland as the pick.
Yes, we are. Now we're going down to pick 158. We are now in the 5th round.
I'm really, really interested to see if A.J. Dillon is still available at that pick.
I think there's a good chance of him being available.
But we can't pick him.
No, we can't pick another running back.
Nah, no way.
Negative.
Even if he's the best player available.
Darrington Evans just got picked. I liked him too. Sadiq Charles, another one. Play guard on the next level. Oh, there goes Muti.
All right, guys, we're going to be down to
A.J. Dillon to the Eagles.
Wow. Jake Fromm. Good pick by the Jags, though. But Fromm, wow, waited that long. That guard out of Georgia is good, too. Solomon Kindley. All right, pick 158.
All right, so let's talk about what we're trying to do right here. We're trying to build competition, right? We're trying to
I see what you did there.
we're trying to maybe get an insurance policy for a guy that may have been suspended in the past or be a knucklehead.
Oh boy!
No,
I didn't even see this guy.
In all seriousness, we're really talking right now about value over need.
So this is the 5th round,
value,
right? 5th round.
That's correct.
5th round.
So, yeah. So you're not expecting this person to be a starter out the gate, right? So you're talking about depth player at this
special
juncture.
teams.
Special teams. Definitely somebody that can play on special teams. I agree there.
Well, the question is how will our 5th round pick, what will that pick's pathway be to making the team, to getting on the 53-man roster?
Well, can I preface it by saying this? Last year, we made a pick in the 5th round. It was a linebacker out of Minnesota, and he ended up starting a number of games for us until he hurt his shoulder. And not only did he start, but he played at a high level. And you guys heard me talking about him the entire season. Like, he really caught my eye. And I was like, look at this little terror running around the place, making tackles all over the place. The linebacker out of Minnesota.
Blake Cashman.
Yes, and I love Blake Cashman. And here's the thing. I'm not going to automatically just start thinking depth. I'm always thinking about starter material. And as a matter of fact, when I was going through my mock drafts, I had one mock draft where I truly believed every single person that I picked was a starter, all the way from rounds 1 all the way down to the 2nd pick that we had in the 6th round, deep in the 6th round.
No, well, I agree with you, B, but understand when we picked Blake Cashman, it was clearly to be a backup, right? Think about our starting linebackers.
That wasn't a need area.
It wasn't a need area for us at that point in time because we had a lot of salary cap committed to 2 players that, in all seriousness, shouldn't have been off the field. But then obviously best laid plans turned into what it turned into. But he was going to be special teams, right? Because he played on special teams.
Fair point, but not to cut you off, B. They had him as the 5th ranked inside linebacker in the entire draft. Number 5.
Yeah, well, and he fell because of shoulder issues and injuries and stuff like that as well. So he ended up falling where he fell. But the thought process in that war room last year was not that this guy was going to be a starter, but could be a spot starter if necessary, which ended up happening, right?
Right, could be a starter, and they're not thinking solely depth, but could be a starter. Why? Because they ranked him as the 5th ranked inside linebacker in the 2019 draft class. So I see what you're saying, but I just want you to hear where I'm coming from as well. It's not like we're just looking solely depth, but he was the number 5. And look, if you just go to say, I don't know, other positions, and if you're ranked 5th out of the plethora of people that are available, that's pretty high.
I'm actually really happy with how this draft shook out, because we're actually able to have the argument that we were having between whether you're going to pick a very marginal corner at this pick, or you're going to pick a guy like Thad Moss that could potentially be a matchup issue and a weapon for you on offense.
I mean, yeah, it couldn't have played itself out any better at this point.
Yeah. So I mean, I know where I stand on this. I don't like any of these corners. As I don't even think I don't think these corners will make the team. Don't think they'll make the team.
Well, show me who's there. Show me who's there at corner.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that was my question. Yes, thank you.
Show me who's there at corner.
After that, show me who's
Brandon's
there.
favorite guy. Brandon's favorite guy, Michael Ojibwana.
No. Can you show it to us? Because I can't see it. Terry asked that question, not me. Thank you.
Your guy's there. You could put him in as your pick.
Where is he? I need to see him.
He's right there, 183.
How about Neville Clark? He's another guy.
The 24th best corner. The 24th best corner.
Just because he sounds Jamaican doesn't mean I love him.
Neville Clark is as West Indian as it gets. There's a tight end in the draft that's draft eligible named Joey Magnifico, who I've just wanted to pick because of the name.
Funny. Is he Italian or is he Spanish?
I don't know, but it's Joey Magnifico.
That's hot.
That is.
Yeah, we might have to make him Mr. Irrelevant in this draft.
So tell me. Okay, well let's put the pick in and then we can talk about it. So are we ready to put a pick in, or what? Where are we at?
I'm ready. We need to move on.
Yep. I'm ready too.
I need a new piece of paper.
Flip the card around.
I've already done that 3 times.
Oh, funny.
I'm ready.
Right. Hold on. All right, I'm ready. All right, let me get out of share. All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right,
Kerry, you put up a blank card, Kerry.
That's right, because I have no idea who I would pick here. So I'm going to defer. You. My thing is, you make the argument, and I'll say, okay. Or nay. Because all of these guys have warts. All these guys that we're considering have warts
in the 5th round,
significant warts, and that's why they're in. That's why they're in the 5th round.
Sure.
So, and I understand Kyle's logic with regards to the cornerback and signing a guy off the street as opposed to using a draft pick for him. So it's more about what's the higher level of reward, who has the higher ceiling here, because we know what their floors are. So,
well, I mean, when we had this argument the other day, looking up Michael O, who Brandon put in as the pick.
Yep.
And
he's my pick now too.
Brian, did you put him in too?
For which?
Who did you pick?
Pick number 158.
Oh, I picked Thad Moss.
Okay, so with when Brandon did this pick the other day, and we had the conversation about it, in which the other day Brandon referred to him as a steal and then conceded that wasn't true. Just for the record.
Well, I used the wrong verbiage. That's what I conceded.
You absolutely
yes,
you were
I
just
did.
wrong on all accounts.
No, I'm not wrong on all accounts, but I was wrong in using the verbiage as far as him being a steal.
I picked 68, by the way, is where you picked him.
Yes, and he was not a steal, but I do look at him as a good corner out of a good program, and
Well, many see him as somewhere between the 12th ranked corner and the 24th ranked corner in the draft.
So sell us on Thad Moss, right? So you're knocking the cornerbacks, right? Who did you select, Brandon?
I selected Michael Ojemudia.
Okay, all right. So
yeah. So
let
let me finish my point though.
Okay.
So my overall point the other day, and this is not a knock on Brandon. It's more a matter of
kind of sounds like Kyle.
My philosophy. Oh, I mean we keep it real here.
We keep it real.
It's only funny. It's only funny if it's a knock on Brandon. So let's continue down
You're
that
talking
road.
to and about a fully confident football person right here, so
I
people
know.
can come at me. I fly solo. I'm cool, man.
Come at me, bro. Come
No,
at
but-
me, bro.
No, but my point
Thorough,
is
son.
my
Keep it
point
thorough.
is the chances of the 17th or even the 12th ranked corner in this draft making a team in which we already have guys slotted to start. We have backups signed. He's going to have to come in and he's going to have to be better than Arthur Millette, which I don't think he will be.
I think he will be.
Okay, I don't know what you base that on, but the analysts are saying that he's at the best the 12th ranked corner in the draft.
What they are saying is, as far as, because you just said you don't know where I'm getting it from and what the analysts are saying, I'm looking at it right now. The analysts are saying that he is a very, very good zone cornerback, and because of the zone system that they play, they just don't have as many reps seeing him in man coverage. But he is a ball hawk, and he is an excellent tackler from the cornerback position. So
how many picks did he have this year?
I think he had 3. He's not afraid
Career?
to tackle. Huh?
Career? Do you have career numbers?
I don't have career numbers in front of me right now.
Well, let's do this. So listen, Kyle, sell me on Thad Moss, because I put the pick in with much trepidation.
We already have a ton of tight ends.
I couldn't say that with all honesty that I felt confident putting my pick in. Kerry put nobody in as far as his pick is concerned. I just haven't scouted into the 5th round to this degree at this point to feel confident about anybody I would have put out there. But again, this was just BPA, and the guy name was up there, and it was kind of familiar because you mentioned him.
Okay.
But sell me on Thad Moss.
So Thad Moss, first of all, he has pedigree. His father's a Hall of Famer. So you have that right there. There's a pedigree that he goes into with it. He comes from a national championship team in which he played a very explosive role on it with a lot of really good receivers around him, like Justin Jefferson, and a lot of weapons on the team.
Sure.
And he was one of those weapons. So he has a championship pedigree, and he has a familial hereditary pedigree.
Does it concern you that he ran a 5+ in the 40? And what is he, H-back, or what position are you kind of putting him in from that perspective?
He's listed as running over a 5-second 40.
Yeah.
I
So
never saw that.
He ran a 5.07.
Bye, Thad. I'll see you later, Thad. See you later.
Wait. Let me double check. Because I might be looking at the wrong thing. Hold on.
Okay.
That would be in his. Let's look and see what his write-up says.
It's not. I don't see it in his write-up.
All right, let's look somewhere else.
And he missed the season due to a foot injury. Huge upside, solid speed is not a 5-second 40.
No.
6'3", 225 pounds.
Let's see.
They're talking about his route tree. He's not the most dynamic athlete, and his slow played route breaks won't snap off a lot of separation. Runs a nice little stick route to quickly sit down. He does well to get out of the blocks, but hard angles and deeper patterns will be a challenge for him unless he becomes more savvy to bump and extend for room.
I also think that he
had an injury. Sorry, I don't think he ran the 40.
Yeah, like his dad came from a smaller school and got better as time went on as an NFL player. So, I mean, he had some of his best years when he was in New England with Tom Brady at the end of his career. So, I think that this kid has tremendous upside, and it's a lot. He could do a lot more for our team than the 17th to 24th ranked corner in a draft.
Funny.
that isn't even a good corner draft.
So here's where the pandemic and everything is not working in his favor, because he had a Jones fracture in his foot. Jones Frank. Yeah, well, yeah, they didn't say Frank in the notification here, but probably right.
So it's
So
Liz Frank. I'm sorry, I'm mixing two up.
so
Yep.
he had the fracture. That's one of the reasons that he didn't run during the combine. So it says 6 to 8 weeks recovery after the surgery, I guess, or whatever he's going to do for that. And because doctors from teams can't go out and see these people or have them come into their facilities, that's going to be a problem for somebody like Thad Moss, who is recovering from an injury and might cause him to tumble down the draft, and probably why he's being drafted in the 5th round at this point. But that could be a concern out there too. Just not knowing how fast he's running and all those other things, you're kind of taking a shot in the dark with somebody like him.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Brian, thank goodness you corrected yourself in that 40 time, because if Randy Moss is your dad and you're running a 5.07, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
You know?
Come on, man.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Well, I think too, like, let's say we went with Michael O as the pick here. All right. Where do you slot him?
Probably slot him as a 4th cornerback, maybe.
So he doesn't. So he's over.
Probably 5th, actually.
So he's under Desir. He's under. He's under Poole. He's under Bless Austin.
And
Millette, and there's another guy that we signed. I can't remember the name right now.
Isn't that the guy that we were going to sign, but it ended up falling through?
Christian.
No, he was a safety.
That was a safety.
He was safety. Okay,
Christian.
right. I didn't know if you were thinking about somebody else.
Yep.
So I think that we get better value on our roster with a potential third tight end, tweener receiver that they take a chance on here, rather than just a guy that I mean.
So whose place would he take being the third tight end?
Wesco.
So then we have no H-back or blocking tight ends on the roster then. Because Griffin is there.
Ryan Griffin can play H-back. He played it most of the time. The only reason Wesco played it all last year is because Herndon didn't.
Well, he to me is more of an H-back blocker type, and Herndon and Griffin are both really good receiving tight ends. I think you need somebody with bulk in there to kind of play that H-back or fullback role when necessary. And Thaddeus can't do that. He's only 225, you know?
A.J. Dillon could.
You don't want to draft him there and have him play fullback either, though.
Nah, you don't.
All right, well, we're definitely running out of time on this pick, right?
Yep. I mean, so, Kerry, are you going to change your blank to Moss in order to tip the scales here? Or what are we doing?
No, I'm going to go with Brandon.
Ooh.
Who's playing GM?
I would honestly, I would if AJ Green was there at that position. Obviously, he's not. I would definitely pick a corner in the 5th round, but he's not available. So I just think that there's more value there. I'm not a fan of Moss.
Okay. All right. So who is going to make the final call in the 5th round? Because we have a tie.
Well, I mean, Brandon can make the call because he hasn't made a call yet. So it's not like we've had to go to that tiebreaker.
All right, let's go to Ojemudia and let's move on. I'm making the executive decision. Kyle is so mad at me right now.
I'm going to go throw up right
now. He's going to throw up.
Moving on to pick 191.
I would have liked Damian Lewis at that guard. Buffalo Bills. Thad Moss going to moss us all day from Buffalo.
Another player that goes to Buffalo.
He said,
yeah, he won it.
Moss did not drop a single pass in 2019. Did you guys know that?
How many did he get thrown to him? 4?
Right. Yeah.
He had 47 catches.
No, I'm teasing.
He did have a ridiculous catch that I saw on the sideline at right before was that, like the 2 or 3 yard line. It was ridiculous. He was like out of bounds and it came in bounds in order to catch the ball. It was crazy. Yep.
Guys, I'm going to pull up the offensive guards now.
I was just about to ask you to do
Yeah.
that, Kyle. Thank you so much.
We missed out on so much here.
Oh, I got somebody.
I mean,
Runyon.
Nope.
I mean, I like Tremaine Ankrum is a right tackle that they are projecting as a guard in the league. Who are you thinking about, Brandon?
It's out of 2 people. It's out of a Michigan guard, the one that played on the opposite guard end of Bradenson, who was really good.
Onwenu?
Yep. I like him a lot. He's a massive dude.
You just like to pick dudes named Mike O.
Yeah. And then I also like Cordell Iwagagwe. You know, I like these Nigerian names, man. So I like going with those.
Could you put the overall ranking too, Kyle? I know you kind of running both there.
Neville Clark is still there.
Why would we pick Neville Clark, another guy that's not going to make our team?
No, I'm not going to pick him. I'm just saying he's still there. He's not a bad cornerback as far as where he is, where he's ranked. But yeah, this cornerback position thing's got Kyle hot.
I just don't see value in it at all.
There's a linebacker there that I happen to like a lot, but we don't necessarily need him. And
which guy? Quarterman?
Yeah.
Shaq Quarterman?
Shaq Quarterman.
Shaq Quarterman has a good write-up, but drafting a guy like Shaq Quarterman it just put you in roster decision making that you probably
we have 5 inside linebackers right now.
Exactly. So that's my point of view. That's why I don't think we need to draft Thad Moss because we have.
Well, we didn't, so we've moved on from that.
Your new name is going to be Angostura because you're wild bitter. Angostura bitters.
I'm bitter.
I'll tell you what your nickname isn't going to be is True Value Hardware.
Nice comeback. I love it.
That's a great comeback. I
love it. Love it. Love the banner.
You're going to Ace. You ain't going to True Value. Ace is the place for Brandon.
You're going to Dutch Boy Paints.
That was corny. Pull up the guards again, please.
It was.
No Hofstra guys to.
Yeah.
Now is this guard from Rhode Island? Is he a tackle that I
think he's a tackle that's going to play his guard. I think.
Yeah, started all but one game at left tackle in 2018 and 2019, with the other start coming at center. Made 9 starts at left guard and 5 at right tackle during his first 2 seasons. Can somebody look up the height and weight on him?
What's his name again?
Well, it says his negatives are that he lacks both bulk and strength.
What's his name again? I can look it up right now.
Kyle Murphy.
Kyle Murphy.
Rhode Island.
And he had a good week of practice at the Shrine Bowl.
Kyle Murphy, 6'3", 316 pounds. Because he offers effective mobility in both lateral and linear scenarios to play with needed fundamentals and succeed at the pro level. He redirects and changes directions well, showing effective climb to the second level and finishing stickiness to press the issue and bury defenders. Has been charged with both inside and outside play throughout the course of his career at Rhode Island. He's gotten by strictly being the bigger and stronger than the opposition at the FCS level and will require fine-tuning to allow him to prosper at the pro level as well.
All right, so who we going with? What we doing?
All right, I'm ready to rock.
I am too. Everybody ready?
Yep.
All right. Mm-hmm. 3, 2, 1.
Go multi-screen on it. Multi-screen. Kyle's got Ankrum. I've got Caleb. I can't pronounce his name, but I love the Nigerians. Awugawu. I believe.
Going with John Runyon Jr.
Oh, you going with Junior? I'm going to Ankrum.
Now, talk to me about Ankrum. To be honest, I don't know that much about him.
I mean, he was a starting tackle on Clemson.
On Clemson, right?
And I mean, he's been in the national championship game 3 times in his career. He understands what a championship culture means. He's a tackle that would be bumping down to guard. So we're talking about an athletic tackle, but also somebody that you might be able to play at right tackle if you needed to.
Is that who you went with, Kyle? Too?
Yeah.
Okay.
He comes in with a like a better resume than a Goba, who is our starting right tackle right now. Mm-hmm. So even if you were to slot him in there,
all right, I'm
wide-bodied college tackle who projects at guard, explosive at the point, fires off the snap, and works to stay square, keeping his feet moving. Negatives are he moves forward better than he does laterally and struggles to slide off the edge in pass protection. Well, if he's playing guard, then I don't really care.
Yeah, you're not concerned about it.
Lacks lateral range, doesn't sink in his butt at the line of scrimmage. Did a terrific job at right tackle spot with Clemson, but he has limited mobility and must play in confined quarters. So, I mean, this guy sounds like he might not be athletic enough to play tackle on the next level. But, I mean, he went against great pass rushers, in the playoff games that he played in the BCS, with the college football playoffs. So I like him. John Runyon Jr., he doesn't really rank very high in anybody's lists.
Yeah, he needs more work. From what I understand, more strength, more like a little bit of everything. This guy needs to develop into a more well-rounded player. Like he is, to me, Runyon definitely practice squad if he happens to make the team in some capacity. Or
I wouldn't mind going guard back to back in these last picks that we have. We have one more pick, right? 211.
Yes.
Yeah,
Kyle,
I'll change that.
I haven't spoken about Cordell Iwagagu yet. Can you just pull him up and pull up his write-up because they have a good write-up on him?
2-year starter left guard,
mm-hmm.
All Big 12 honorable mention. Missed 8 games due to an undisclosed injury.
Mm-hmm.
Developing offensive lineman with big upside. Not even mentioned by scouts entering the season, and now is a day 3 pick.
He's athletic, perfect for a zone blocking system.
He needs to improve his strength.
Based on the write-ups, Ankrum's write-up is better than this one.
Okay.
But they have Iwagagu ranked above him.
Yep.
By 10 spots.
Yeah.
And
I mean that's this person's board.
Yes.
Or that's it's.
Yeah, sure.
And you know what? If you were to click on Michael Onwenu and look at his write-up, I might like him better than all of them. I may switch up my card. All this guy has to do is lose weight. 3-year starter at Michigan, named 3rd, all Big Ten, made 34 starts. Onwenu is a massive lineman who plays to his size, but his sheer girth hampers his ability to cover any amount of area with adjust to nimble opponents. He possesses terrific football skills and a large amount of upside, but he must shed significant weight to have an opportunity at the next level. So basically, he has everything. And I read in another write-up, he needs to lose 40 pounds. If he loses 40 pounds, he could probably start in the NFL. That's what I read.
I'm not picking a dude that needs to lose 40 pounds.
40 pounds.
That's
ridiculous.
Fine. That's fine. Hey, listen.
That write-up talked me out of it.
Usually they're telling you to put on weight.
I hear you. You know what I mean? But if it's something,
does he weigh 400?
He's 6'3", 350, based on this one right here.
6'3",
and they want him
350?
down to 310 as a guard?
Yep.
I mean, he's a short guard to begin with. 6'3" is like a center. 6'3" is not ideal. I pass on him.
No worries. I mean, I already wrote down Iwagagu anyway. He's more athletic than this guy, but this guy definitely was on my radar. just because of his pure skill. And if all he needs to do is get in a program and lose a little weight, because he's going to be now a professional athlete getting paid for his professionalism, that might motivate him to shed some pounds. But hey, who knows?
He's gonna be a professional athlete that's working out in his house because of COVID-19. No, thank you.
All right, I hear you.
Yeah, true.
He's going to.
Nope.
He's going over to Five Guys.
No problem.
And they're not training him there. They're giving him hamburgers, and he's
Might
eating
be
them.
Six Guys.
And he's getting it delivered too. He's not even like getting in his car in order to go over there. So
He's pushing the car. He's doing what a lot of the linemen are doing right now. He's pushing the car to
All
the
right.
Five Guys.
Funny.
So let's keep it moving on to our last pick, because I guess now we have what, two people?
Well, who do we?
We're picking
who do
Ankrum,
we
right?
stick
Yes,
with?
we're picking Ankrum.
Ankrum,
Okay.
we got 3 for Ankrum.
Yep,
Okay.
3 for Ankrum. That's fine. I'm not,
All right, let's
Totally fine with that.
Let's close this thing up.
This is our martini right here, our last pick, and this is going to be 211.
There goes Shaq Quarterman.
Pinky's up on the martini. Pinky's up.
Neville Clark, Awagu,
Neville.
whole bunch of corners that aren't going to make teams.
That's fine.
No matter what, I'm picking Kyle Murphy. Just joking. I don't know.
Nah.
Kyle, do me a favor. I just forget this guy's name. Go to defense and go to
You looking for the Syracuse DN?
yes, I am. DN.
I don't think he's still there. Oh, Kendall Coleman.
Kendall Coleman. That's what I'm
All
looking
right, so Kendall Coleman. Let's talk about him because I believe Kendall Coleman's the guy that they say he's a sleeper because he had like a bad senior year or something like that. Explosive pass rusher, gets leverage, low pads, focus hands, active hands, plays faster than his 40 time. What was his 40 time? Did somebody else pull that up?
Don't know what his 40 time was.
I'm pulling up stats. So let's see. So is it DN?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. 4 sacks last year. Played in 12 games. 10 sacks the year before. So besides that, not many.
So
stats.
there was Robinson was the other DN from Syracuse that was a higher rated guy.
Yes.
And
Alton Robertson or something like that.
He's 6'3", 253.
There's some D tackles here that are maybe value. I don't know. Is there anybody liked that's still here? I know that
No.
I know that Kerry had liked Harrison Hand from
The Temple cornerback.
Yeah.
I'd pick him up.
Don't pick cornerback, Kyle will rip your head off.
This is a 6th round, man.
No, not
Second
at
pick of the
211,
6th round.
Brandon. Not at
Second pick of the
2
6th round.
Basically, what you're doing at 211 is you are saying to yourself, I'm going to pick this guy so that I don't have to compete with others for him as a street guy.
Okay.
And that's fine in the 6th round.
What about quarterbacks, man? What QBs is still left?
Thank you for bringing that up. I was just going to say that. Probably the same ones that are always available at this time, which don't interest me at all.
A lot of inaccuracy down here.
Not even the white guy? No.
So, but the Hawaii guy, you don't even have a scouting report.
Yeah, I read up on the Hawaii guy. He is wildly inaccurate.
We don't want that.
Wow.
Steven Montez is interesting. Because
This is Colorado.
he got kind of banged up and never really came back to the form that he was in when he was a sophomore. So this
is all a shot in the dark right now, my friends.
Yep. I already have my guy. I'm ready to reveal that.
What about wait, you got Shea Patterson over there, quarterback, Michigan.
He was
Shea
terrible.
Patterson. Him and Don, he's the reason why people are making an argument that Donovan Peoples-Jones will be a better pro than a college player, which is a terrible argument.
I feel like Shea Patterson brought this kid's value down.
Yeah.
That's what
I would go with
He
Hand.
made him try less.
Maybe he just wasn't getting him the ball with his inaccuracy.
I don't know. I'm Donovan Peoples-Jones. I think is a big risky pick.
What about the overall ratings, Kyle? Who's the best or highest rated?
The other Raekwon. Raekwon number 2.
DT, Michigan State. And that kid Tyree Cleveland out of Florida, I read up on him. He's not bad. I'm surprised he's still here at 211.
Who's this outside linebacker from Utah State here? No report. I mean, there may be like a Frankie Louvu. Maybe this Kendall Coleman is like a Frankie Louvu. Somebody who come in and be a little bit situational.
Yeah. He's got good size, decent weight.
How are we doing on time for this pick?
We are there. We need to pick and be done.
I wouldn't have a problem taking a chance on this another one of these guards either. Because we're all in the same realm here.
All right, gentlemen.
What is it?
We've got about 25.
We're not going to have a consensus, so just put in whoever we feel.
Pick number 211. I already have mine ready to rock.
Do we still have anybody watching us?
Who knows? This is our longest broadcast to date. But hey, we did a draft, man.
3, 2,
Right. 3, 2,
1.
Going with Kendall Coleman, pick 211, last pick of the draft. Kerry has Hand out of Temple, cornerback. Kyle Murphy for Kyle McKenna.
And Raekwon Williams.
Okay, all righty.
You got Brian.
Raekwon Williams, D tackle.
Okay.
Who are you going to cut? Brian Taylor. Because if Raekwon is going to make the team, you're cutting a current D lineman that we have, like a Kyle Phillips or Fatakasi or one of those.
Well, we're expanding the rosters, right? So that's one, or practice squad at that point in time, being in the 6th round anyway. So if he doesn't end up making a cut, practice squad and call it a day.
All right, I don't mind. I don't mind the thought. I think it is a value pick. I like after we read this Kyle Murphy thing and picking at 211, the versatility of a guy that we could bring in. Featuring Joe Douglas's thought process as a guide. Played center, guard, and tackle on a college level, and like those interior O linemen, like the Matt Burks of the world. The Joe Tunneys, they can come from smaller programs and still thrive. Matt Burke went to Harvard. So
he had 5 sacks last year, so at Michigan State over there playing D tackle. So from an interior lineman, that's not bad.
I mean, is he huge?
6'4", 303.
Big enough.
Yeah, I just don't think. I think that Kyle Murphy might have a better shot at making the team than the other guy.
Probably. I think Kendall Coleman has a better shot at making the team because we are down on edge rushers. He was productive, even though he got hurt and was not as productive this year. But the year before that, I believe he had 10 sacks. And they have him written up as someone who could be, someone of great value if given a chance and if he's healthy. So they have him as Kendall Coleman out of Syracuse. They have him as he's a good football player. He's smart. He's a smart processor with good technique, and he knows how to counter block. With that said, his physical traits let him down because he was hurt. So he does have a burst coming off the edge.
A burst.
Yep. And was a 4-year starter in college.
All right. So, and Kerry picked Hand?
cornerback out of Temple.
It
Yeah.
did.
Okay, so there's no way I'm going to agree with that one because corners at this point. So am I going to talk anybody into Kyle Murphy?
Probably not.
Is anybody leaning on that?
No,
No.
not really.
All right, so then I'm going with Brandon with Kendall Coleman.
I want to give our great defensive coordinator just a little extra help, and maybe this guy Kendall Coleman can pick up some stuff from Bradley and Ane, and maybe they can team up and form like Voltron and make something happen. Who knows?
All the
Sounds
analysts
like
might have been
plan.
wrong, and maybe he's better than Bradley and Ane.
I'll be
Maybe.
hot.
Oh, hush
That
your
means,
mouth.
that means we'll be paying $250K instead of whatever, so that's good.
And Raekwon Williams ran a 5.04 in the 40. Not bad.
At
for a
303?
big guy. Yeah.
Raekwon.
Yeah. Go Raekwon.
Damn.
Raekwon the chef.
So Kyle, let's click that in. Let's pull up our whole roster.
No, we're not clicking that in. It's only 2 people.
2 people, but the other one.
That's it. Yo, you got it. You have a quorum.
Run with it.
Yeah.
At this point, I mean, as
Kendall.
late as we are in the draft to get a quorum, this run with it.
Right.
Going with Kendall, yeah.
I ain't mad at it.
Dun, 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 dun.
We have no 7th round pick.
That is correct. Let's see who these guys pick as Mr. Irrelevant.
You know what I want you to look at? Just for giggles. I want to see which corners weren't picked at all.
Oh, wow.
We'll do that, and we'll get back to each other on the text. How about that?
No. We're going to do that right now.
You're hung up on this. You're gonna
Harrison Hand, 248.
All right, there you go.
I'm hung up on it because I think I'm right.
Cole McDonald.
Maybe they won't. Maybe they won't let us look at it.
Nah, that wouldn't. Because it might mess up. So.
What's funny what's funny about this draft is it looks like a combination of all the drafts that we've done.
Yes,
separately.
It does. And basically, folks, this is the product that the BKBK War Room has just put out. This is what our draft looks like.
Are you happy with it? Are you happy
through
with
all
it?
of the back and forth,
Yeah.
through all of the borderline insults and banter of everything. Overall, are we as GMs in the Jets War Room representing BKBK, are we happy with this draft right here?
I'm happy with this draft.
I got to say, I'm happy with the first 5 picks, which I think are the most important ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think that when we talk about how many potential starters we could have picked here, I see 11, 48, 68, 79, and potentially 120 as 4 to 5 starters that we may have gotten out of this draft. Again, after that, I think that they're crapshoots anyway. So you're looking at value. I think we got some value in 211, and potentially some value in 158 and 191. But I just don't think that the corner position in this draft is as valuable as other ones were. But we did really well on the wide receiver front, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree with you. I feel like the cornerback position in this draft isn't as good as other drafts. But look at the first 3 picks. I think that these guys are not just starters, but they're high impact players that we have.
Absolutely.
And I'm very happy. And I remember Herman Edwards saying, when you draft, you have a good draft when you can get 3 starters. And I think we have more than 3 starters in this draft, but I'm seeing just incredibly high impact players with the first 3. So I'm satisfied with this draft.
You also know you have a bad team when you need more than 3 starters.
That is true. And you know what?
Well, that's the other side of
Not
it.
that good.
Yeah. So when you
Go
look
ahead,
at
Brian.
it, when you look at it from an offensive side of the football, being able to protect your quarterback with a stalwart at left tackle, which is awesome. Think about weapons and what we needed to accomplish there, and I think we did that. And being able to rush the passer to be able to get that in the third round, I think is excellent as well. So when you think about home run hitters, we have those. We have some people that we can put pieces on the chessboard to be able to accomplish that mission as well. So I think we accomplished a lot in this draft.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with where we are. Did you get everything that you wanted? I think wide receiver 1, that prototypical 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" guy that you could throw on the outside. I don't think we have that in this draft right now, but I think combined with the other pieces that we picked up previously, Perriman, being one of those, I think that and Crowder being, as part of the slot that we have there, I think we got some ammo in order to scare some guys. Defensive coordinators have to scheme for us, which
Right.
I couldn't say prior to the draft that they had to.
I'll tell you what, if at the 79 spot, if we got Claypool, I'd be so ecstatic regarding this draft, because after that at pick 120, we have another shifty type playmaker in Anthony McFarland. Plus we have Crowder. Oh man, I really do wish that we got Clayton, but at least, Lynn Bowden isn't like a bum or anything. He's a very, very good player. I guess just different views and different philosophies of how to arm Sam Darnold with weapons is what we're seeing here, and that's fine.
I think that if we had drafted Chin at 79, we could have drafted Claypool at 120. But I don't know if it allows me to go back and look at that right now. I gotta move some things
I think
around
you're
here.
guessing big time over there, Kyle. That's a big time guess.
I just
51 picks away.
I don't think Claypool was available at 120.
No, he wasn't. He was taken.
He was taken before that.
Well, either way, I think that time will be on my side with Chin. But we'll see. That's another Pat Mahomes thing. Just reminding everybody how I pounded on the table for that guy. It worked out pretty well for him. But I can't help but be happy with the way this worked out, because we do have a lot. We got Sam Darnold a lot of weapons. We protected him, and we got some pieces to work with here. I think that the reality of this draft being in this order, I think that we're gonna trade back at some point here, and gain another pick in this 68 to 120 range.
Tell you what, if 3 out of the 4 top offensive linemen that we have are still on the board at pick 11, I want to trade a few spaces back and still have the opportunity to get Wirfs or Wills or Andrew Thomas, and this way we can get some, like another 3rd rounder or another 4th round pick, that would kind of address some of these issues that we need addressing. But hey, that's what I've been doing in, my own little mocks,
I've seen very, very few mocks that have Wirfs available at 11.
Exactly.
I just recently started seeing Wirfs. Like there was one where they picked Mekhi Becton ahead of Wirfs, and Wirfs was there, and Andrew Thomas was there, and so was Wills, and I could not believe it. So I was trading back. I think I ended up trading all the way down to the Jaguars at pick 20, and my draft was phenomenal. So, but that's never going to happen. Anyway, listen. So great show, guys. Way to just be effective, and to really just show the world what we're thinking, how we philosophize things, how we put value on things from a Jets perspective in the upcoming draft. So we just want to just say thanks for watching another episode of the BKBK podcast. We want to be able to bring you the latest news and viewpoints of where sports and the culture collide and the New York Jets reign supreme. So keep watching. You can find us on Facebook, on our BKBK podcast fan page, on Twitter, on @BKBK podcast, on Instagram @BKBK podcast, as well as on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, type in BKBK podcast, hit the like and subscribe button, please, and just show the love. And if you can't watch us, you can just listen to us on iTunes. So go to bkbkpodcast.podomatic.com. So that's it. Everyone stay well, stay healthy. Right. All righty, let's go Jets. Let's go Baldwin Bruins. And let's go Team BKBK. And let's go America. All right, let's go United States. We'll get over this thing, man. Let's just keep pushing on through. All right. God
Great
bless
job,
everybody.
guys.
All right.
Go.